And I know I've been saying, oh, I've been in my intro, the olden days. Can you tell us what it was like doing the old way?
Yeah.
Not the
Um,
PowerPoint days, but the spreadsheet days.
yeah, exactly. Um, a lot of what the interaction was between teams that were doing product development and quality happened in those silos that I know we mentioned a little bit earlier. And the one team would be working and doing their stuff here, another team would be working and doing their stuff here. And you didn't have, software teams and quality teams and compliance teams in the same tooling. So they didn't have context of what the other was working on. And a lot of times as you get to the end of a product development cycle, you'd have this big dump of information from where one team was working to where the other team is working. Maybe you've got big exports of information, or then you just sort of go through this big phase change, and now you're in this heavy documentation phase. A lot of things are being done manually. If you're trying to maintain documents throughout, I've worked on teams where every sprint someone had the task of going and updating a requirements document with any new things that were discovered or worked on in a sprint. And so as an item is completed, someone's going to Word doc and adding details about a requirement that the team had worked on in Jira. And this makes you slower. It's annoying, tedious work, right? That's not the high value work that we want our teams to be doing, is going in and manually updating documents or trying to reconcile sources of truth. We want them to be delivering value, not delivering manual documents, right? And you probably, like, a lot of times you go through the cycle of like a month, 2 months, 3 months of getting all your documentation order after the work is done, and having those inconsistencies or questions about the source of truth, or manually updating information, or making a table in one sheet that manually traced some information, and then having to manually manage a different document that had another segment of that information for a different context. And it just was not a fast, efficient, error-free way of working for teams, because you had to manage information in multiple sources. You introduced the possibility for human error. Someone makes a typo when they're manually entering information, and now you've got a traceability to an item that doesn't exist in your system. You've got something for an auditor to catch on and ask questions on, and then start digging deeper onto some information. It's harder to keep some of those audit trails, or it takes a lot longer to do that. And it's just not the most effective, high use, and high value way to use your resources.